Hi there, everyone. It is currently the 29th of March 2015. Meteorologist Robert Spett here with you today. We are continuing to track Typhoon Maysak, our third named typhoon of the season out here in the northwestern Pacific, the fourth named storm of the year, and this is definitely continuing to quickly intensify. You take a look at the microwave imagery. I like using this imagery because it really gives you a good representation of the inner core of this storm system, that inner eye wall really setting up. You can see the eye quite defined here on this imagery. Now what it does, it peers through those upper level clouds that usually obscure the center of circulation if you're looking at infrared or visible imagery, and this just shows you a rapidly intensifying storm system. Let's take a look at the satellite imagery now, and where you can see our storm is still down here towards the southeast of Guam, but it is moving over about 45,000 people today. I do want to point that out. This is not completely out in the open ocean. We have the islands of Chuuk, which are under typhoon warnings at this time. Already been seeing winds reported gusting over 50 knots. Pressure has dropped below 1,000 HPA as of making this update right around 00 UTC, or about 9 a.m. If you are out here in these islands. So definitely taking the brunt of this storm system here this morning, and this is continuing to intensify for several reasons. Take a look at this. This is actually the satellite-derived winds courtesy of the University of Wisconsin as well in the upper atmosphere. So what we have is very high winds just north of that center of circulation, and that is allowing good exhaust aloft. It's flowing away. Remember, in the upper levels of a warm core low, we have an anticyclone. The winds rotate clockwise, vice down at the surface. This is good for intensification, as I like to call it, big lungs for a growing storm. The other big thing is this sitting in bath water. This storm system likes that. It's going to be running over water over the next several days, around 29 to 31 degrees Celsius. This also allows for further intensification. According to the Japan Meteorological Agency, actually right now, winds of 70 gusting up to 100 knots. Pressure now down to 970 HPA. JTWC has a little bit weaker, but I would not be surprised if they intensify this on their next update, which comes out at 03 UTC. Still, Bagasa, no update from them on this storm system, just mentioned in passing on their website, but this storm is definitely coming towards the Philippines. I'm going to get in on how the impact is going to be here in just a second. Let's continue to talk about the islands of Chuuk, though. As I mentioned, currently under these typhoon warnings, this storm is going to continue to track overhead. Here's the latest track from the Japan Meteorological Agency. It's not just there, but it is going to continue to move actually towards the south of Guam. Good news, Guam, I think you're going to be missing out on the brunt of this storm system. Still going to be seeing some winds kick up. It's really back here towards the west when this storm is actually expected to intensify to a Category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, at least according to the U.S. military, as it moves over Yap, and that is why, at least at this time, Yap actually has been put under typhoon watches. This is from the various agencies as well. This is courtesy of Typhoon 2000, not just JMA, JTBC, but what also you're seeing here is China, Taiwan, Korea. Pagasa is still missing out on it, and really just very fair confidence. And this continuing, obviously, to impact Chuuk, but also moving over Yap and staying south of Guam. So let's break down, actually, using our Meteor app here, the model outlook, basically what we're looking at this time. So Sunday, that's kind of another visual representation, by the way, here. Sunday, we're still going to be just seeing this winds continuing to kick up, and then throughout the day on Sunday, Chuuk really is going to be feeling the impacts from this. Definitely typhoon strength gusts expected to continue to linger even into the evening hours. Heading through Monday, what we're going to be looking at is some interaction with that high pressure farther off here towards the north that is keeping our storm system basically on a westerly path. And this is actually one thing I want to show you if we're going to be talking about the dynamics behind the steering flow of this low, because what you have is our low pressure area down here towards the south, but we have the subtropical ridge off here towards the north. As I've mentioned in previous updates, if you've watched them, tropical lows are like water. They want to flow downhill into valleys. They don't want to flow up into these mountains, which are the high pressure areas. So this is going to stay on that westerly path. Now the key thing is, this will hold this in place. So the next 4 to 5 days, there is really fair confidence of the forecast track as it moves off there towards Yap. And actually, let's zoom back in here and watch this go ahead through Monday into Tuesday and even over towards Wednesday of next week. I'm making this update on Sunday. We have this move right overhead. Typhoon strength winds confident that's going to be seen in the app there. At least gusts. Sustained winds very well likely as well. Now, it depends on exactly how it impacts the island, how we're going to be seeing that threat of storm surge. But I do think some low-lying coastal areas here could be seeing a pretty decent storm surge threat as well. Now, especially if this gets up to that Category 4 type intensity, you want to get away from the immediate coastline. So there's no question in our mind. But the good news is that bad news is you're getting hit by a storm, but the good news, as I mentioned, there's fair confidence this is going to be happening, and you still have several days to prepare. So if you are watching this update from the islands out here, don't wait on it. Hey, if you prepare and it does waver a little north and the impact's a little bit less, that would be some great news. And no one's hurt, so you might as well. So here's the big question, though, as far as the impact on the Philippines. Wednesday through Thursday, this continues to track here towards the west, but let's zoom back out. Our high-pressure ridge starts to drift a little bit farther there towards the east. Our storm still wants to go kind of towards the north. Remember, this is just a displacement of warm air back towards colder air. It's the atmosphere trying to even itself out. But I don't think that subtropical ridge is still weak enough to allow that to come towards the north. So what we're seeing with most guidance is this storm system is just kind of taking its time right in this area of the Philippine Sea, and what that will allow is at least some weakening. And that is why actually the Joint Typhoon Warning Center at the 5-day mark, they do expect a little bit of weakening. JMA as well kind of picking up on that. Most numerical guidance as well does expect by the latter part of this week a little bit of weakening. Now, here's the big kicker though. I don't expect weakening that we saw with Bobby. Remember that one just got blew right apart like a candle getting blown out by vertical wind shear. I think this is going to be a little bit farther towards the west, a little too strong. But it likely will not be a Category 4 type of super typhoon when it does make landfall out here. Let's take a look at some of the guidance as well, and I really just want to point that out. But the guidance with the GFS ensemble also picks up on this lingering, and some of it pulls it off here towards the north, but it really just wavers up and down on making a landfall here into parts of Luzon and over towards Visayas. Once again, this does not indicate intensity. That is one thing to key note, but the big thing I think these ensembles do indicate is the disparity we are seeing within the model guidance. Actually, that was a GFS. This is the ECMWF. Like I said before, confidence that this is going to make landfall in the Philippines. But look at the ECMWF ensemble. I know if you look at the model like we were just seeing there with the Meteor app, that is an average of all of these outputs here. It's not that great confidence in the extended range. Like I said, the next 3 to 4 days, yeah, this is very tight. But once we get over here, you can watch it just kind of waver up. So basically, anybody extending along the east coast of Luzon, extending down through Visayas, I think you really need to be watching this very closely at this time. If I was a betting man, I would say we're probably going to see a landfall somewhere along the eastern portions of Luzon. Exactly where? I've been asked that question numerous times. Guys, this is Friday and the Saturday time frame. We're looking ahead into a holiday weekend here. So if you do get impacted, a lot of people are going to be traveling. People are going to be out there on ferries trying to travel around some of these smaller islands. I think this is going to be a major impact regardless of where exactly it hits. But key thing to note, though, I'm making this update on Sunday. We still have 6 to 7 days to watch this. Excessive amount of time looking ahead here. This is another reason why I do think we're going to see some weakening as well. Just go back to the satellite image really fast here. We do have this dry air slot right in here. If this continues to linger, right now this storm system is sitting within a massive amount of moisture, and that will allow for some more intensification until it does get up in that dry air. And I don't really want to mention it too much, but look beyond that. We have another little swirl out there. Models are picking up on this potentially becoming something. And actually, I'll just put it really quick up on your screen here. The Wave Watch 3, actually, because I just want to show you what the waves look like out here, because this is kind of important for mariners. We do have them really kicking up, and it's just upwards about 20 to 25 feet. But look at that. It does pick up on that second low forming behind us, and actually several other numerical guidance pick up on that. For now, we're going to concentrate on our storm system we have in progress. We are continuing to watch what's going on back there towards the east, but I think we're just going to keep our eye mostly concentrated on Maysak here. All right, guys, that is all for right now. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them down there in the comment box below. I always appreciate your feedback. Yeah, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is probably one of the best places to get us if you check the Western Pacific Weather webpage. Also, subscribe. I really like that. Or hit the like button. Yeah, just the feedback actually makes the most important thing. All right, I'll let you go on for now, and stay safe out there.